Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking something super fascinating, the psychology of the ultimate fixer. You know exactly who I'm talking about, right? We all know one. And let's be honest, we probably rely on one. It's that person who steps into just pure chaos, doesn't even break a sweat, and magically restores order while the rest of us are still standing there trying to figure out what on earth just happened. But we gotta ask, is this incredible ability to resolve literally every crisis a true superpower? Or is it actually a hidden psychological trap? Okay, let's dive into this by picturing someone. Let's call her Sarah. So meet Sarah. She's the undisputed go-to person in her circle. You know, when the notoriously stubborn office printer jams up right before a massive deadline, Sarah quietly steps up and clears it. When the Thanksgiving family dinner threatens to just completely explode into some political argument, Sarah expertly navigates the drama and changes the subject. When the car suddenly breaks down on the side of the highway, she doesn't panic, she literally just pops the hood. But here's the real question. Why is Sarah always the one fixing everything? Well, to understand Sarah, we really need to look at the fundamental difference between helping and fixing. They sound similar, but they're totally different. When someone is helping, they're offering support. You know, they sit with you, they listen, they allow you to just feel heard without any judgment. But fixing is a whole different ballgame. It's about offering immediate solutions and basically taking over the problem. Fixers feel this deep-seated, almost physical compulsion to restore order to a chaotic situation. For them, an unfixed problem in the room literally feels like an unfixed problem inside their own chest. And here's the really tricky part. Society absolutely loves fixers. It sets up what we call the competence trap and builds up a person's reliability quotient. I mean, think about it. Society highly rewards quick problem solvers. We continuously trust them, we praise them, and we heavily rely on them. But over time, being needed becomes their primary identity. They aren't just Sarah anymore. They become Sarah the fixer. And when your entire value to everyone around you is built on your utility, man, it becomes increasingly difficult to ever stop stepping in. So, let's move into Act 2, the deep dive. We're going to look at exactly why the brain craves the fix. Now, what's really interesting about this is a concept psychologist Albert Bandura introduced back in the late 1970s. He called it self-efficacy. If we strip away the academic jargon, self-efficacy is simply that specific internal conviction that you are totally capable of managing whatever situation is right in front of you. It's not just some general optimism, it's this rock-solid belief of, hey, I've handled things before, I can handle this too. And we build this through small master experiences. Imagine a kid who wiggles a loose wire and suddenly sees a lamp flicker back to life. In that tiny little moment, they learn that the world isn't just something happening to them, it's something they can directly influence. Building on that idea, Julian Rotter identified what's known as the locus of control. Basically, fixers operate on a deeply internal locus of control. They firmly believe that their own direct actions, their effort, and their intelligence determine their outcomes, not luck, not fate. And the research shows these individuals are incredibly resilient to stress. Having that deep sense that your effort actually matters is frankly one of the most protective psychological traits a person can have. It's what keeps their world from just completely falling apart when things get really tough. But here's the thing, not all fixers are doing this out of pure, joyful curiosity. A lot of them developed what's called the competent child schema. This usually starts in childhood, often in an unreliable or chaotic environment. Maybe a parent wasn't fully present or emotions in the house were wildly unpredictable, leading to a dynamic we call parentification. The child learns super early on that standing there feeling helpless is genuinely risky. So, what do? They adapt. They learn to self-soothe by solving problems entirely alone. Fixing earns them approval. It proves they belong. And by adulthood, this avoidant attachment pattern really solidifies. Extreme competence isn't just a skill for them anymore. It literally becomes their entire personality and their armor. This creates a really fascinating split screen between how the fixer is perceived by the world and what is actually happening inside. On the outside, the external perception is flawless. They look completely invincible to everyone else in the room. They appear calm, highly confident, endlessly resourceful, and like they are in total, absolute control of whatever crisis just erupted. And this brilliantly illustrates the contrast with their internal reality. For a lot of fixers, swooping in to save the day is actually just a coping mechanism wearing a superhero's cape. Their intense need for agency, it's a defense mechanism against ever feeling helpless again. They use fixing for anxiety management. Basically, if they can solve your problem, their own internal panic just sort of evaporates. It gives them this dopamine of utility, a quick shortcut to feeling worthy. And that's exactly why letting someone else handle a task makes them so hypervigilant. Honestly, stepping back and doing nothing feels physically dangerous to their nervous system. Actually, want to pause here for a second and just let the emotional weight of this quote really sink in. The most capable person in the room is sometimes the loneliest, because they have systematically trained absolutely everyone around them that they never ever need help. Well, nobody ever offers it. It's this really quiet, heavy grief of extreme self-sufficiency. This brings us to Act 3, the shadow side and its hidden costs. The brilliant psychologist Carl Jung spoke a lot about the shadow. The shadow consists of those unintegrated parts of our psyche. We're talking about the weakness, the fear, the incompetence, or that deep shame of not knowing what to do, the stuff our conscious ego desperately tries to hide. Fixers often run away from their own shadow of vulnerability by constantly managing everyone else's problems. Think about it. If they are super busy fixing your life, they don't have to sit in the uncomfortable silence and face the uncertainty in their own. Jung also used this amazing concept called enantiodromia. It's basically the idea that when anything reaches its absolute extreme, it tends to turn into its total opposite. So an extreme obsession with security ultimately generates profound insecurity. This is the great paradox of the fixer. Their extreme reliance on competence makes them utterly terrified of true emotional intimacy. And why is that? Well, because relationships don't come with repair manuals. You can't use a wrench on vulnerability, and you definitely can't logically troubleshoot someone's feelings. Over time, this dynamic leads straight into the resentment cycle and something called identity exhaustion. The fixer starts to realize they're always the strong one, but they're rarely the supported one. They carry this hidden, massive exhaustion from just holding the whole world together. They start developing this quiet bitterness when they offer the quote-unquote perfect solution and the other person rejects it. And honestly, worst of all, they feel completely lost when they aren't actively solving a problem. They secretly wish someone would just step up and take care of them for once, but remember, they've systematically trained everyone in their life not to ask. So, the absolutely crucial point here is making the shift from a savior complex to setting healthy boundaries. The savior complex is all about managing others emotionally just to avoid your own uncertainty. Healthy boundaries, on the other hand, mean stepping back, resting, receiving care, and simply existing with someone without having to repair them. Boundary setting isn't a betrayal of your friends and family, not at all. It's actually a balanced, respectful act of acknowledging their capability. Because, guys, here is a really hard truth. When you fix everything for everyone, you're literally robbing them of their own growth. By constantly overfunctioning and jumping in, the fixer accidentally prevents their loved ones from developing their own coping mechanisms. A lot of the time, that urge to intervene stems from the fixer's lack of tolerance for ambiguity. You just can't stand the messiness of watching someone else struggle, so you solve it. But in doing so, you're stunting their ability to learn how to solve it themselves. Which leads us to the final piece, the transformation from savior complex to healthy boundaries. Let's move to a highly practical tool you can use every single day to break that reflex to save everyone. I call this the wait and ask technique. Step 1, pause your immediate rushing instinct to intervene. Like literally just take a breath for a second. Step 2, ask the person directly, do you want me to listen or do you want me to help you solve this? And step 3, which is for sure the most important one, respect their autonomy and accept their answer. It's about embracing the sheer power of simply saying, I don't know, what do you think you should do? Alongside that technique, try running through this introspective self-reflection checklist. Before you jump in and take over, ask yourself, is this problem actually mine to carry? Am I genuinely helping right now, or am I overstepping? Am I giving freely, or am I kind of trying to control the outcome to make myself feel safer? And finally, am I fixing this to be helpful to them, or because I personally am just too uncomfortable to sit with their pain? Recognizing all of this is what allows you to make the shift. Letting go of the need to fix everything does not make you a bad, distant, or uncaring person. It makes you balanced. Being a fixer is an absolute superpower when you use it intentionally, but it is a gilded cage when you just use it reflexively, operating on some old autopilot program built from childhood anxiety. Ultimately, the most powerful takeaway from all this psychology is this: true mastery isn't knowing how to fix everything. It's knowing when not to. Sometimes the bravest thing you can possibly do is simply allow a problem to exist, to let it sit there and not touch it, to just be human, feeling and experiencing the messy reality of life alongside the people you care about. I want to leave you with this final, really provocative thought to reflect on as you go about your day. The next time you feel that overwhelming urge to step in and save the day, stop and ask yourself, are you fixing their problem to help them, or are you fixing it to soothe your own anxiety? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this gives you a whole new perspective on the superpower and the trap of being the one who fixes everything.